Well, dude, that's what I'm trying to tell people to do every day. Like, you think in abundance. Who cares if the market's going down? If the market's going down, there's opportunity abound. You just have to find it.
Yeah.
I already have the office lease. Why don't I start doing this? That's expanding instead of retracting. Most people just retract.
Yeah.
So where'd you learn that?
I invested a lot of money into mentors, and I watch the source of my advice. So I think it's very important for everybody watching this to watch the source of your advice. Like, for example, if somebody tells me, get rid of your Ferrari because they got rid of their Ferrari, I would compare that to somebody that tells me, somebody that has Ferraris or somebody that's getting more Ferraris, and get their opinion, get their advice, because there's always going to be those people that are giving you advice based on their situation, and those people that are giving you advice based on their situation. For example, you still have your Ferrari, right?
Yeah, two.
Yeah. I have another friend that had very successful, and he has like 20 cars in his garage. And there's a lot of other people that have 30 cars in their garage. So they're not telling you get rid of your Ferrari because it's hard times. And you talked about that abundance mentality. Like, you got to think big. And one thing that I never believed in is downgrading. Because once you downgrade, once you back off, I think it affects you mentally, and that's a loser's mindset.
Scarcity, yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. Do you go to Disneyland very much?
Once in a while.
You know, because as you know, me and you have been a few times. We get the old VIP hosts. Do you think the VIP host changes are bullshit?
What do you mean by changes?
Well, before, dude, when we got a host, if you guys go to Disneyland, I used to say I'd highly recommend you get a host. Now they're very hard to even reserve because everybody gets them. But it used to be VIP, front of the line, no line, as a matter of fact. You used to be walked around there like a VIP. Now, all they do is basically get you a fast pass.
Yeah.
Well, why not just get your own fast pass for $5,000 less?
I think the experience, how it
There's
feels.
No experience. They don't do anything anymore.
I mean, for me, it does in the form that you have the, what do they call those people? The
hostess.
Chaperones, or what do they call them?
The hostess.
The hostess? They have a name, I think.
Yeah, VIP host. A guide.
They have a different funny name.
Yeah, I can tell you what it is. They're called I'd have to call them.
Yeah, but
she's an expert. She'll know.
But regardless, when you have a VIP host that has their outfit and they're following you around and they're leading the way, a lot of people, like, everybody looks at you and everybody's like, oh, they got a VIP host. I think that even though it sounds stupid,
most people don't even know what it is.
I think a lot of people know what it is. And I think just the way it makes you feel, like what if you had an option to be, what do you think people like more, to be famous or to be rich?
Rich.
And once you get rich, do you think you want to be famous?
No.
Well, if you're famous, you don't think it's easier to get rich?
Yes.
So if you could pick, I want to be famous or rich, what would you pick? If you were 21 right now?
Rich.
So you would want to be a rich 21-year-old instead of being a 21-year-old that's famous?
Well, again, if you're separating them, yes, I would.
So let's say you're
rich and unfamous, then famous and broke.
So if you're a 21-year-old, Brad Lee, and you know everything you know right now, and somebody tells you, hey, I'm going to make you Kim Kardashian famous, but you have $0 in the bank account. Or they tell you, hey, nobody knows you. You're just a 21-year-old Brad Lee that nobody knows, but you know you have the same knowledge that you have right now.
And you got Kylie Jenner money.
Yeah. So the Kylie Jenner money, or let's say
I'd take rich and unknown over known and no money.
No. I'm not saying Kylie Jenner money. I'm saying if you could be as famous as Kylie Jenner, or you could be rich but not a billionaire. You could be rich. Let's just say you have give me a number, $20 million. $20 million, or you're 21, or you're a 21-year-old that's Kylie Jenner famous. What would you pick?
Well,
20 million or Kylie Jenner famous?
Number one, if I were 21,
and you had the knowledge that you have right now.
Well, I would pick Kylie Jenner famous because I realize it's worth more than 20 million.
Exactly.
But that's not what you're saying. You're saying, would you rather be rich or famous? And I'm like, well, if you're the way you're saying it, you can't be both. So I'd rather be rich. Why? I'd rather be rich and unknown than famous and broke. Now,
but you're talking about
if you're saying if you're famous, you can make money, but no, because the choice was money and unknown or known and no money. Well, if it's known and no money, dude, I ain't taking that.
Let me ask you a different way then. If somebody took all your money away from you right now, can you make more money right away?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because I'm smart.
And because you're famous.
I'm not famous.
You're very known. How many followers do you have?
I don't know.
So
growing, maybe 3 million collectively.
But if you lost all your money and nobody knew about it, then you don't say anything.
It'd make it harder to make money, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you saying? Go out and build a brand?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, you're just using a bad analogy because you made it too extreme. Because I agree with you. Everyone should build a brand. Everyone should get known as they can, and it makes it way easier to build your business, flow money to whatever charity you want, whatever cause you want. Like you can help this person or this person more with that brand, with that attention. But the way you put it, would you rather be rich or famous?
Yeah.
And then I said, what do you mean? You said, would you rather have, no one knows you, but you have money, or would you rather not have money, but people know you?
Yeah.
I don't want to be known and broke.
Yeah.
Especially I don't want to be famous for being broke, right? I want to be rich and unknown, ideally. Like people always say, Brad, you love the attention. My wife always says that. I'm like, I just don't mind it. You see, the difference is a lot of people mind attention. Why? Because they spent their whole life being told that they shouldn't be after it. Okay. So I don't mind attention. But I don't seek it. If someone said, Brad, I'll give you $1 billion and no one will know who you are, or I'll give you $1 billion and everyone will know who you are, I would take the anonymous billion. The reason why, dude, is because, dude, you would get inundated with you couldn't eat dinner with somebody without being asked for an autograph and pictures, and you can't go through the airport without stopping 45 times or being a dick because you won't stop.
Yeah.
Right. Or, leaving somewhere and someone wants your autograph and you've signed them and then there's a line of people. And at what point do you have to say no? Oh, it's not the little kid that's fucking sitting there for 3 hours. So now you have to sit there and you can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that based on being actually famous, because one time I was doing an event where I was one of the big speakers and I was technically famous at this event. And when I tried to go meet Melissa for lunch, I told her I'll meet her at 12:30 for lunch. I didn't even speak that day, but I spoke, I think it was the day before. So the next day I'm just listening to, I think Bobby it was, or someone I was listening to. And I said, I'm going to leave here, sneak out. You know what I'm talking about, down in Diplomat.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me leave here, sneak out and go meet Melissa. It took me 3 hours to get to meet her, because people would surround me and start having me sign autographs and pictures. And it's like, dude, you really want that in a worldwide level? Hell no. Like Andrew Tate, dude, he's now, like before when he was saying he's the most famous man on the planet, I'm like, well, that's pretty presumptuous. But like Andrew Tate, everybody knows who that dude is now. Now, he ain't going anywhere. Him or Tristan. They're not going anywhere without being recognized. They need security. If they had children, they'd need security. What if somebody kidnaps their kids? Stuff like that. So like, I don't think I'd want to be a billionaire and known if I could pick.
Yeah.
Would you?
If I would, that's another level of wealth.
I know, but I'm asking you the questions now. This is my show, by the way, not yours.
If I'm a billionaire,
would you rather be a billionaire and unknown, or a billionaire and famous?
A billionaire unknown. Because when you're that wealthy, you value exclusivity, privacy, and nobody knowing where you are.
Or who you are. I'm not that famous. I appreciate when people want pictures with me. I appreciate when someone asks me for autographs. It makes me look cool for everyone who don't know who the fuck I am.